Hello, welcome to News English on radio television station. Here's our news today. On November the 14th, members of the National Assembly Study Committee listened to Chairman of the National Assembly Soil Technology and Environment Committee Le Quang-Huy report on a number of major issues regarding explanation, reception, and revision of the draft law on water resources amended. The draft law has been reviewed, supplemented, and revised with regulations on prioritizing investment in searching, exploring, and exploiting water sources, and having preferential policies for investment purchase to exploit water for daily life and production for people in water-scarce areas, encouraging the implementation of water storage activities, regarding declaration, registration, licensing of water resources, and receiving comments from National Assembly delegates. The draft law has assigned the government to stipulate in detail in Clause 9, Article 52. At the same time, the regulations transitions the completion of registration procedures, signing and licensing water resources exploitation for irrigation purchase is after 3 years. Regarding economical and efficient use of water, economic tools, policies and resources for water resources, regulations for developing urban water supply scenarios under climate change conditions. The special interest kept to draft because these provisions were stipulated in the law. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has issued decision number 3440, deciding that the traditional festival of Ông Pagoda, Biên City, Đồng Nai Province, is included in the list of national intangible cultural heritage. The Ông Pagoda Festival on Four Island is held at the Ông Pagoda Worship Facility on Four Island, maintained for more than 330 years. The festival is a regional festival voluntarily performed by Chinese and Vietnamese people in the Southeast region, continuously from the time of land opening up to now, with cultural development and changes but still retaining its nuance, especially in the general characteristics of the festival. In addition, the festival is associated with customs, practices, and folk beliefs in the South in Vietnamese-Chinese cultural relations, clearly demonstrating the Vietnamese cultural identity of integrating multiple sources and harmonizing multiple systems. The bridge of cultural exchange crystallizes and spreads within and outside the region with vitality and international integration. In addition to the Ông Pagoda Festival implementing the roadmap from now to 2030, the Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism sets an annual goal of building a dossier on local intangible culture to submit to the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism for recognition. According to the State Bank, currently the total outstanding credit balance for the real estate sector of credit institutions reaches 2.74 billion Vietnam dong, an increase of more than 6% compared to the end of 2022, accounting for 31.46% of total outstanding debt to the economy, of which real estate credit focuses on consumption and self-use purposes accounting for 64%, and outstanding debt for real estate business activities accounts for 36% of outstanding credit debt in the real estate sector. Real estate business credit has grown higher than the general credit growth rate in the same period last year. This shows that the solutions and efforts of the government, the banking industry and ministries, branches and localities in removing difficulties for the real estate market are gradually becoming more effective. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said on November 14th that the European Union (EU) will not achieve its goal of sending 1 million artillery shells to Ukraine in a year. Speaking at a meeting with defense ministers of EU member states, Boris Pistorius said warnings about defense companies not being able to produce 155mm artillery shells in time according to EU orders have come true. He said, the target of 1 million artillery shells will not be achieved. We have to assume that. Speaking at a meeting, EU High Representative in charge of security and foreign policy, Josep Borrell, also called on defense companies to prioritize the production of artillery shells to supply Ukraine. The European Union last year pledged to provide 1 million artillery shells to Ukraine before March 2024. However, so far this bloc has only provided 300,000 artillery shells from its existing stockpile. According to a report by the United Nations UN dated November 15th, governments have not made progress in cutting greenhouse gas emissions to prevent the effects of global warming. The report shows that according to a nationally determined contribution and DC profile, global emissions could increase by 9% by the end of the decade compared to 2010. Greenhouse gas emissions fell by only 2% in 2030 compared to 2019 levels. A 2% reduction is still very far from the 43% reduction proposed by the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change for the global temperature target of no more than 2 degrees Celsius, according to the 2015 Paris Agreement. The report was released 2 weeks before world leaders gathered in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, to attend the 28th UN Climate Conference COP28 from November 30th to December 12th. That's all for the news English for today. Joining us, and goodbye.